Hey everybody, Jess Intuitive Angel Healer here with your Grounded. And we've got the fabulous Lucia Pavlikova. And she is from Frankfurt, Germany. And this is our Why Not Wednesdays uh, empowerment woman interview. And you are number 12 in our series, good old angel number 12. Hello, Lucia. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much just for having me. It's a
I,
pleasure
I
being here.
I am so excited, and I hope I didn't butcher your name too much. Is
No,
it
don't worry, don't worry.
Pavlikova?
Yes,
Okay, awesome.
perfect.
And you are from Frankfurt, Germany. So I'll go and hand it over to you. And if you could just tell us your name, age, where you're from, and your what you do.
Perfect. Thank you very much for this time and for this opportunity. I'm very happy being here with you all. So I am Lucia, and yes, I do live in Germany, but actually I'm from Slovakia, so it's a little country
Yes.
in the mid of Europe. And yeah, I'm 34 years old, if I remember correctly. And I've been doing coaching for already some time. And as I started in completely different area in my life, I started working in corporate world. And yeah, I realized that this is not where I want to be anymore. And I felt like there must be something more. There must be a bit higher purpose for me. And I felt a bit pull towards self-development, and then I realized actually that self-development actually applies to everyone. So why don't I help others? And it just was born, So I started coaching, mentoring, and that's what I'm doing. I'm basically working with the mindset mainly, and I help introverts through going through the burnout and anxiety and overwhelm, so just to overcome all these burdens in their life so they can really live the life to their full potential. So basically that's my personal story, if I can tell you.
Well, that's awesome, though, because it's funny. I'm a bit of an introvert. I'm a social butterfly. I don't know how it works. Some days I'm a social butterfly. Most of my life I have been, but I've noticed with abuse and with things that go wrong in your life, I've noticed I am more of an introvert, and I've my angels laugh at me and told me if I didn't knock it off, I was going to be the crazy cat lady sitting in my room by myself. So I have to go out there, and they're like, "You are not an introvert." But it's funny because that is the biggest thing, because not everybody starts off as an introvert. Because everybody's got their picture in their mind of what an introvert is, Big Bang Theory, they think that's what an introvert is. No, you can start off as the star of the party, and then with so much life experiences, you can become an introvert. So that's super awesome, because there are so many people out there that have a hard time with crowds. And if you're an empath, it is torture to be around. I don't want to go out there because an empath.
Yeah.
And I feel like people are just going by me doing uppercuts because I'm like, oh, this energy, it's so bad. But awesome. I love it. I love it. And okay, so we're gonna hop into this real quick. And when you close your eyes and you imagine an empowered woman, what it what description comes to your mind?
Well, empowered woman. Well, definitely she's someone who has figured it out all and knows her worth. She knows her unlimited potential, as well as she knows that she can achieve whatever she puts in her mind.
Nice.
She can become anything and anyone she has dreamed of. She has big dreams and she is not afraid to follow her intuition. She's full of compassion, love, and peace. So she's able to share it with anyone who needs support.
Nice.
And she leads from heart and uplift others.
Nice. Do you happen to have any cartoons or any figures out there that you would say is you're empowered? You know, kind of like there's Powerpuff Girls, and I have one tattooed on my back, which is kind of funny, but it's because they're little girls that kick butt before bedtime, and that's why I love them.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, if I'm thinking about cartoon, the first one which comes to my mind is Frozen.
Frozen, I love it. Yes. That would, you know, both of them are in their own little journey.
Yes,
And you
yes,
got the
exactly.
extrovert and the introvert both in
Introvert.
there, so that's awesome.
Combination.
Awesome, yes, and it's duality. So, all right, so tell us a little bit about your own personal path of empowerment. What would you say is most significant, most challenging, and most rewarding?
All right, so most rewarding or most challenging, well, it's like one package because it started as challenging when I decided to quit that corporate world, which I mentioned in the beginning, not knowing, where I had or what is the next step, next direction. So that was that challenging time. But also on the other hand, it became very rewarding because all of a sudden I saw more potential. I've seen the opportunities which I haven't seen before. So the world has opened up, right?
Yes.
And then all of a sudden I realized, and that's what I'm also teaching my clients, and I'm showing them like how important is that empowerment to grab it and realize what we are capable of once we really decide to get out of that comfort zone, because that was for me that step, to get out of that comfort zone. Once you have the stable job and all of a sudden you realize this is not working well.
Yeah.
So that was a part when I decided, yes, it's challenge, but once you overcome that, it becomes huge reward for yourself and for your life. And as well, then with that decision as well, the other opportunity came up, like when I decided to travel the world. So I decided to backpack in Southeast Asia for 3 months.
Nice.
Yes. So that was also exciting time and rewarding,
And
definitely.
that is so awesome because that's what a lot of people are going through that right now with the COVID. They and that's kind of like I understand it because, you know, that's what I do every day. I understand these weird things in the world that people don't are the wise. But for the other people out there, they're trying to figure out, how do I work from home? How do I become a business owner? And they're with the same thing of, okay, well, I'm smart, I'm educated, I can do this, but then the fear kicks in and it's
Yes.
all about, you know, well, my husband's gonna kill me if I can't, you know, because if I take away 5,000 of our income and say, hey, we're living off of beans and rice for the next month. Some people, you know, that's fine for me, but some people, that's they've spent their whole life, and I found out that most of it's because they didn't have the comfort zone when they were little, and so they spent their whole time trying to overcome that fear of poverty when they were younger.
Yeah.
And it just goes in a complete cycle. So good for you that you, you know,
Yeah.
you were like, I'm just gonna face the fear and I'm just gonna do it because this isn't comfortable anymore. Because that ends up what happening. It just ends up like the angels are gonna take you off there, and we all try to outsmart the universe and say, I'll do what I want. But when it comes down to it, the universe is more powerful, and it kind of is like, yeah, I'll do what I want, and I'll take your company away, and you don't have one to work at no more. So that's
Oh,
awesome.
there
That
were
I love
many
it.
fears. You can believe me.
I love it that you stood up to him though, and that is why you, my friend, are on here right now because um you are the face to those women out there that are in their corporate job that hate it, that have so much more to offer the universe and the world, but the fear, you know, is that's the only thing holding them back. So I love it. Now, so you've had a lot of rewarding and a lot of What was the most challenging, would you say, on the whole journey? Was it just maybe the step away from the corporate world, taking that first step?
Yeah, that was that security which you have, and you were saying, coming, even if you decide for that such a huge step, you need to take account the consequences of that as well, of course. And like you said, the financial
Ability.
side. So can you do that? Can you not do that? And you look at it as the whole package, not just to decide as, all right, I'm going to do that straight away. So all these fears were actually holding me for quite a lot of years, to be
Yeah.
honest. So it was not like all of a sudden it happens. And I can get it. Everyone has it, so it's completely normal, because the fears are within our DNA. So it's something we need to face, and that was very challenging. That it was kind of like progression. It was coming, and it was always coming to my mind, like, should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? What if, that
Yep.
questions, what happens if you do that? And the most important part is maybe start to asking the right questions, in a way that, all right, if I stay here where I am now, would I be okay still be in the same place in 5 years, in 10 years? And then, yes, you start looking at it a bit differently, and you start maybe reevaluating, these steps.
So it's just about, just see, ladies, it's all about steps, because that's the biggest thing is fear. It holds people. Fear holds people in so many different ways, but I am so excited to see another soul break free from the fear and just go for it. So kudos to you for just going for it. That's awesome. So
Thank you.
okay, so what is this kind of leads up to my next question. What advice or suggestions can you give to women that are walking the path of empowerment, or most importantly trying to get started? And that's kind of what I was talking about, is a lot of people, nobody wants to sit here and have a hard time and struggle, and this is not fun for anybody. But admitting fear and admitting, that you're the one holding you back is super hard. And so what would you give advice to those people to help them get encouragement to get it going?
Well, as you just said it, actually, you said like take it step by step.
Yeah,
Like, it's not,
baby
it
steps.
doesn't necessarily need to be the whole world that you are changing around you. If you just take small steps and you see that it's actually working, so you're slowly getting out of your comfort zone, like with these tiny steps, you actually get much further than you are doing by like huge leap in your life. And stepping outside of comfort zone every day or every week by a bit, in the end, it can have a huge impact on the life, because you will see that actually it's nothing which can hurt us, or it's nothing which is going to which is going to stop you. So doing small steps is actually the best thing to do.
Nice. Nice. I love it. And that's my guidance to my clients too, is baby steps. You don't have to, I'm going off the grid. If you've ever seen that commercial, this guy like just takes his family and he's like goes and lives out in the wilderness in a hut. Yeah, that's not how you have to live. And that's what I was told. It took me many, many years to get on my spiritual path, because everybody painted it to me that I had to be some weirdo out in the woods. And I am some weirdo out in the woods now, but it doesn't have to be drastic like, society paints it, to live your dream and actually do what you want, you know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
love it. All right, how do you support the women in your community? Do you have any programs or anything that you're helping with that, to help the encouragement of movement?
Yeah, well, actually, I am running a small circle in Frankfurt. So before the situation with the virus, we were meeting like once a month, and we were supporting each other. We were going through the different topics, how we could, support and encourage, empower each other. So it was actually very nice to meet on a regular basis and build that connection and get to know each other. So now we continue online. And apart from that, for my coaching clients, I basically build the connection on the individual programs. So basically, we go through from the individual coaching, and at the moment, I'm building also my own group coaching program. So
Nice.
where I can support again more women who needs that empowerment, who needs to guide through the burnout and the stress situations or anxiety as well. So these are the small things which I'm trying somehow to support the
And
women in
what's
my
the name
area.
of your group on Facebook for the
So
women's?
for the Facebook group, I just started recently. It's called People Pleasers and Anonymous. Saying no without guilt.
Nice. We all
And
need that.
yeah, it's all about boundaries and burnout and saying no when we really feel it. So stepping out with our voices, and that's what is the group about.
Nice, nice. And that's important. I'm a Pisces, so I really need to stop being a people pleaser and those are
Yeah,
my two
yeah, I am
weaknesses as
guilty
a
too.
Pisces. People pleasing and say no. But I've learned if my biggest thing is I made a deal with my angels that I will say no because I will not do anything out of resentment. And that was the biggest, hardest thing. But if I know that I don't want to do something and it's going to cause me resentment because that's a karmic lesson, guess what? I'm saying no to you because I would rather displease you than displease the universe because I have to pay for anything I displease the universe with. So that was literally the one thing that finally knocked me off of being a people pleaser is literally the connection with spirit.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, because you don't want to. It's kind of like if I say something to spirit, it's like your mom. You don't want to disappoint your mom, and that's kind
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
feeling I have with my angels. I'm not going to tell them something and then be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, guys," because then I just feel horrible. So yeah, I can't. Like, I'm learning how to finally get the cycle of resentment out of my life, but it is a fun journey, let me tell you, and I'm only human, so. Everybody who's
Cool.
going through it, let me tell you, I'm here to tell you that it is not an easy journey, but it can be done. It just takes practice every day. So, all right,
Every day.
who and what inspires you down your path as an empowered woman?
I get inspired by driven women. I really love working with like-minded women who have that drive, and as I said, in the community in Germany, that we work together, we talk together, and we inspire each other. So I love to hear the stories from different areas of life. Everyone has something to share, and it's always inspiring what obstacles they have gone through, what challenges they faced. So
Nice.
if I can say who inspires me, is basically, it can be anyone who has, some story to tell, and I can
Exactly.
learn from that.
And I feel like we learn every day, and when you
Oh
stop
yes.
learning, you're not living no more. So that is, I love it. Yeah, my clients, this whole journey of me helping clients has inspired me because spirit keeps bringing all the people that reflect something out of me that I'm working on, and I'm like, am I helping you or am I helping me? But that's kind of how
Yes, exactly.
coaching works. But so, when you daily care, daily
Mm.
self-care regimen is super important because you're talking to a lot of people with that are holding on to a lot of negative energy, and then as an empath, your aura is like a sponge, and it just basically soaks up all the negativeness. What do you do as a self-care regimen, and why? How important would you say it is to have a daily regimen?
Actually, I'm very happy and glad that you're asking that, because that's what I always emphasize
Important.
to my clients: self-care, self-care, self-care.
Yes.
because that's what we empath forget when we are giving. And especially, my clients, they just feel like they want to be there for everyone. And self-care, well, it starts there, right? If we are, I like to say that if we want to help others, we first need to fill up our own cups of the energy, and
Exactly.
then we can pour to the others. Otherwise, it's not really working the other way around. So for my self-care, I love practicing yoga. I love doing meditations. So that's basically my every morning routine, I would say. At least I'm trying to get there.
Well, it's all about creating a pattern. They say it takes about 21 days to make or break um, a habit. So, yeah, I make sure, if anything, I do my affirmations every day. That's my big thing, is affirmations. I'm still working on getting the yoga, but I did start eating right, and I became a vegetarian these past. I'm on my 3rd month of it, which is crazy because
Oh,
it just like happened.
wonderful.
And I eat eggs. That's the only thing holding me back from being a vegan. So, but yeah, that's really
I will support you. I am vegan, so we can be there.
it's yeah, I just gotta go the eggs. That's all it is. But you can do egg whites, and that's so
Yeah.
that's the only
That's
thing.
about these tiny steps.
Exactly. But I'm proud because I've been eating, I'm almost 40, so I've been eating meat my whole life. So it's just about incorporating, and that's what I told my guy, because he even did it with me, and I said, we're not going to look at this as a diet. We're going to look at this as a lifestyle change. And that's what I really tell my clients about self-care. This isn't about going and being weird and saying, I love you, self, in the mirror, because that's weird. It's about incorporating love to yourself in 5 minutes, because nobody has 5 minutes for themselves. But yet, you have an hour to go eat bonbons and cry your eyes out and watch a movie on Netflix. I'm just saying, I've done it before. I'm the queen of excuses of why I don't do self care. So I love it that you know that the importantness of it, of having a daily, because it does keep you balanced. And this world is so crazy these days. If you aren't balanced, I had a lady almost hit me yesterday when I was walking downtown, and instead of her saying, I'm sorry that I almost hit you with my car, she called me a bunch of names. And I was like, you need to go hug a tree and go get centered, lady. Like, you almost hit someone and killed them, and you're yelling at them. And like, this is the world I live in. So that's why I tell people, stop making excuses. You need to take the time, because then you would stop being that person that almost ran someone over and yelling at them like it was their fault. Like, you
No.
need to people just need to, wind it back and take some responsibility that, hey, I'm not doing self-care. Maybe it's a good time. I'm just saying. So, all right. Now back to the question of people that play a role in your life. Men. It's a really important thing in an empowered woman's life. How have men affected you in your life, good or bad, on your journey as an empowered woman? And is there any significant ones that you would say that were, maybe, because we always remember the good ones, but anything in there that was significant?
Well, actually, men played quite big role in my life in a way that I cannot really say in a supportive way, unfortunately. But on the other hand, it taught me a lot. So actually, in the end, it was only for my good to understand my worth and what I am capable of. Because the more I got that feeling that I am not equal, maybe in that sense, that I had more drive to prove them wrong.
And
So
that
in
that
that,
is very that's very important, because a lot of people remembered, like, I had an awesome dad, and I have an awesome husband right now. But that exactly, I have good and bad men in my life. And even my dad, he was He's passed. He passed at 42 because he drank a lot. He was a raging alcoholic, but he loved me, and because of him, I'm still here. So that's what I, that's the biggest thing that women, men, about 80, I would say 90% of women are held back because of the men, because of like verbal abuse. Even if it wasn't, a physical abuse, just telling someone they're fat, telling someone they're ugly, they're dumb, simple things like that are the things that hold us down from really empowered. So what do you tell the women, since you've walked that path? How did you get past that to just make it your rock, to just, you're not gonna hold me down?
Well, just to say something in a way that, you know, it's difficult to overcome that, and it's always good to have someone who supports you on that journey. So it's good to be surrounded by people who help you and show you that you are still worth, you are
You
still
still matter.
capable of things. So that what matters, so you are not alone in that in the end. So there are people who will support you, and seeking for that help from others. So this is very important, not to walk that path alone. That's the biggest takeaway, definitely.
Nice. Thank you. Yeah, I love that, because that's the thing, is that you don't, not all women vibe with other women, and that's what we're not saying to go and you have to have 20 besties and a husband. No, you can have one coworker friend. I've had magical friends just fall out of the sky, and then they left just as quickly, and I found out those were my angels, those were my earth angels. So I always tell my clients to start asking your angels for help, because even though you can't see them, they are there just like the air that you breathe. And I am like living proof. I have so many angel stories, I can't even pop up with one, because in the moment that I've really been sad and I really needed someone, all of a sudden I've asked my angels, and just a passerby walked by and said something so kind and so sweet to me, and then just left and turned my whole day around. And so I love it that get support. You don't have to walk it alone, but you don't have to have the whole entire village to walk with you either. But some
Exactly.
people, it's all or nothing. So we have to be very black and white here, that there's always support out there for you, always support.
Always, always. Just look around.
Yes, yeah, and you have to open up your mind, because it's always under your nose and you just never pay attention to your resources. Always use your resources. So, um, as you yourself as a holistic wellness um professional woman, what is your vision for the next 5 to 10 years in the field? What do you hope to see maybe change or get better, or just be tuned up?
Yeah. Well, I love to see that this holistic approach is on the rise and more people are seeking for that. So it's wonderful to see that, and I believe that we are on perfect way to get there and to spread the knowledge about how important it is to be in balance with our body, with our mind, with our soul, and also with the nature. So I see it very positively, and I do have a huge belief that people will seek it more and more and realize how important is it to be in that balance within ourselves and with the surrounding around us as well.
That is so true. And I really hope to see in the next 5 to 10 years that people um start embracing the holistic side, because that's why, again, I'm living proof, and that's my story to tell, is because I was the closed-minded person that made fun of people because I didn't understand things. And so I've learned not to make fun of anything, because I have become everything that I've made fun of. And spirit, it's kind of funny that way. It's not anything bad, but it's because society teaches us And I was just watching like The Simpsons from the 90s, and I was like, no wonder I came out the way I did. Look at the kind of humor that is on TV when I was like 7. So, and it's all about reprogramming, and that's a big thing when you get an adult. I feel like Peter Pan in Neverland, I got to go back and learn how to be Peter Pan again in Tinkerbell. So, all right. We're gonna wrap this up here, and I just would like some advice for our viewers here. Um, those that are trying to seek their dreams, what would be your guidance to give the group on how to not deny themselves of self-care and to not settle for anything less than their dreams?
Yes, well, strongly believe that our time here on this planet, on the earth, is to create, to co-create, follow our intuition, our soul calling. So I would say just figure out what your big why is, what your dream is, and just go for it. And I also say, and as I used to say to my clients, so if your why doesn't scare you, it means you are not dreaming big enough. So
Exactly.
do not settle for anything less. You are absolutely worthy to have it all.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lucia, for coming here. And ladies, this is the face of what an empowered woman looks like. So if you're, corporate America and you're thinking, "Hey, I don't know if I can do this." Well, Lucia is here to tell you you can. She did it. She's doing it, and we're gonna be hearing way more big things. I can just feel it from you. Spirit's got some good things going for you in your next 5 to 10 years. So thank you so much for joining us, Lucia. I really appreciate your
Thank you
time
so much
here.
for your time.
And
Thank you.
thank you everybody for joining us. This is uh Why Not Wednesdays. This is Lucia Pavlikova from Frankfurt, Germany, and she is a mindset transformation coach. And this is interview number 12. Thank you so much. Love and light, everybody. Have a wonderful day.